Our lesson today is on global winds and local winds. Remember, wind is created because of differences in air pressure. It's always high pressure to low pressure. These differences in air pressure exist because warm air expands and rises, cool air contracts and sinks. It's more dense than hot air, causing the differences in pressure, causing the winds. Here we see another image of a malfunctioning windmill. Friction has caused thermal energy and it has ignited. Wind is a renewable resource, but it's not without its difficulties. Remember to review your definitions. Later on, in a later subsequent lesson, we will be making some flashcards as well. As we were just discussing, the movement of air is called wind. Everywhere in the universe, physics, chemistry, we learn that there is a strong desire for equilibrium, for things to be the same temperature or the same pressure. So hot goes to cold every time. It's always hot to cold. It's always the ice cream absorbing heat from your hand. Heat from your hand going into the ice cream. It's not the cold from the ice cream going into your hand. It's always hot to cold. And in the same sense, it's always high pressure to low pressure. If you are riding your bicycle and you run over a nail, the higher pressure in your tire wants to go out into the lower pressure of the atmosphere. The world is not heated equally due to the tilt of the earth and due to the different latitudes, distances away from the equator. The tropics, that's the area in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, basically fairly close to the equator, is hot unless you're really high in elevation. You get closer to the North or the South Pole and it gets colder. Tropical hot air rises and then it goes towards the poles. The polar cold air sinks and then it moves towards the equator, towards the tropics. And this is to allow there not to be a vacuum. Something has to fill up the space when the air either rises or sinks. You can see here a hurricane, or if it's in the Pacific, a typhoon, or in the South Pacific, over by Australia, you might call it a tropical cyclone. And they thrive on hot ocean temperatures. You won't find hurricanes in Alaska because the water isn't warm enough.